All right, everybody, here's the deal. I am on my way over to savagecom.entertainment because I fell in love with Kimberly Michael and I want to follow all of her videos. By the way, she's me. I'm her. So follow me over there, savagecom.entertainment. Look me up, In Love with Kimberly Michael, so you can follow me too. I'm a woman, so I'm speaking from a woman's perspective. Around screaming that they're healed from their trauma, which is the whole point of the show is women and accountability and women and accountability. I can hold myself accountable. Welcome to In Love with Kimberly Michael. I am her, she is me. Welcome to savagecom.entertainment, because you couldn't have got to me without going through him and them and their entity. Anyway, my usual shout outs to myself, because I'm dope, and Jim Savage, who does everything for me. I say it every time, and I will continue to say it every time because it's factual. He does everything for me, literally everything that has anything to do with technology and this show. He does it. And he's dope, and I appreciate him. So now that I've said all those things, for everybody who's showing up, whether it's pre-recorded or not, please hit the like button. As many people that show up, we need that many likes. If you haven't already subscribe, like. Comes next. Share the shit out of the show. Share the shit out of the show. Share the shit out of the show. It's not that challenging. Just hit the share button. So Jay's got a couple of videos that we're going to talk about mothers and the curses that they're passing down generationally. Because with all the narratives that are out there and with all the women that are, walking in their masculinity, and I've mentioned this before and probably talked about it before. It's all fine and good when we're the grown adults doing it to each other. But, what happens when, you're creating that in your children? Like, you generationally want to be fucked up? Because whatever we're doing ain't working. Just so y'all know, in case y'all haven't checked it out. Whatever the fuck we're doing, it ain't really working real well between men and women. There's some shit that's going on that needs to be resolved. So, I say all that. Yeah. So this is the first video. So listen, I have seen this lady.
What advice?
I have seen this lady before. I don't follow her, but I've seen her. And you'll see why I've seen her. I mean, you've probably seen her as well too, though. But anyway, she's usually talking shit, and she's very bold and brass and very matter of fact, which I am as well too. So I get it. But anyway, just listen to what she's telling her daughter. Listen to what she's saying.
What do you have for us young people with relationships, and it's toxic? You feel it like
I'm gonna tell you. You asked me that question, Jessica, and I'm gonna tell you straight up. Young people, y'all don't need to be in a relationship. I'm gonna use you as an example. You're going to college. You do filming. Your extra time should be focused on you and making your content. Me as a mother, that is the worst thing that somebody can do to your daughter. Try to manipulate them into thinking that they care so much. That's what I don't want for you. I don't care what man out there tells you they got to have you. They want to spend the rest of their life with you. That's bullshit. I know people that's been married for 30 years and got a divorce. I was married for damn near 28 years and woke up one morning and walked out the door. What can a man do for you that you can't do for yourself?
Nothing.
You are you, Jessica. My opinion, you don't need no goddamn man. And one thing in life I have taught you, you need to really understand: a stiff dick has no conscience. So no, I don't want my daughter out here straggling around some goddamn man when she don't need nothing. It's not worth losing anything that you have for a man that just wants to let somebody know to hit somebody that had stuff. Now, y'all go and look up that song, Shirley Caesar, and listen to that song, No Charge. There's no charge for a mother's love. The love that I have for my child, you will never, ever, ever take that love. You will never replace that love. You don't have the power. You don't have my power. So when it's all done, you're charging. But guess what? There's no charge here. That's something that you can't compete with. And for all you young women out there, have the power to stay your own. Create your own soul. You understand? Because you got no power to take mine or my child. And that being said, y'all have a wonderful day. And I'm glad that my child asked me that question. Now, God bless you.
Did she say God bless you at the end? Is that what I heard? Did she say God after all that? Did she say, okay, look, I can definitely say there's 2 or 3 things that I can be agreeable with. Okay. What's going on, Lockhart? Who? Hi, is this a network? If so, I'm happy to see you, ma'am. What is your name? Is the lady on the screen your mom? No, I have no idea who that woman was. We were watching a video from TikTok. And so anyway, back to what I was saying. Like I sidetracked just that quick. That's terrible. But she said there was a few things that she said that made sense. And I was, with her in the beginning, kind of, I was like, yeah, and then it just went really south. And what's going on, K Boogie? What's going on? Thanks for showing up. I appreciate you. So my first thought, and y'all tell me how you feel about it, but my first thought is, who hurt her? Like, who hurt her? Because she was amazingly hostile and defensive, and I mean, wow. I don't even know what to say about her aggression. But my point is, is it me, or how is she not creating something not out of love? I mean, she's definitely creating a narrative that comes from a really bad place. I mean, that's how I feel. And I'm sorry, I was reading Lockhart's really long message. And again, these are conversations, and there's another video too, but let me just talk about this for a minute, because I know that we can all, and we all teach our children whatever we choose to teach them. And, we exercise our rights as parents. But I would hope for my child and my children, my seeds, I would hope, it's actually the intention behind my love for them is that they do find someone who loves them deeply and immensely, who does love them unconditionally, who's willing to learn to heal, who's willing to learn something new, or create something more for themselves. Why would you not hope those things? I mean, this woman was literally just creating loneliness. I mean, she basically was telling her daughter, don't even have an idea about a relationship, a whole relationship, a healed relationship. I mean, she didn't use any of those words. Everything she said was negative. Everything. That's what you want for your child, is for her to, that's what you want her to believe in. That's what you want her to, why would you want that for your children? Why would you not want to really, truly tell them that, love exists still in this world? Why would you want them to think that there's no more love, that we ran the fuck out? Like, that's not even feasible. We can't run out of love. So this type of like narrative, and listen, I appreciate this woman's boldness and her, I mean, every time she's ever talked, she's been very brass and kind of rough around the edges, and I can appreciate I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that. And again, she said some, she did say some things, of course we should all be self-sufficient, right? But what a man has to offer a woman is what a man has to offer a woman as a man. And would it be just, I understand the devastation. I did 20 years of servitude, and that's a long time. It's just a long time. And everybody that I know that did it, and there was a tragic ending, or, divorce. I guess it's tragic depending on the type of divorce and how well it went. My parents didn't go very well. So, it was my experience that people were just bitter and angry. And, my grandmother died like that, just bitter and angry and aggressive. And she hated men. And she literally talked about the trauma from her childhood, her entire life. So that's, at every dinner, like not once in a while, like constantly, she constantly talked about it. And I think I've told this story before, and this is my mother and my grandmother men bashed, like really bad men bashed. Like everything that came out of their mouth was, hello, welcome to the show. Everything that came out of their mouth was really, really, it was just horrible about men. That they were worthless, and they weren't shit, and they don't listen. And my grandmother used to verbally assault my grandfather on the like every day, every single day. She would verbally assault that man every single fucking day, threaten him, all kinds of shit. I mean, like legit threaten him. And she'd have frying pans, and I mean, it was a hostile situation, like for real. And I mean, that's not something I wanted to pass down. I had to tell my mother and my grandmother when my son was born that they were going to have to stop talking that way about men. Like, you have a grandson. Like, I can't raise him, and we can't raise him, me and his father, around women that are just dogging men out like you guys do. Like, you have to find another way. You have to find another way. Or just never speak like that in front of my child, ever. That's not what I wanted for him. It's kind of how this lady, it's not the same thing, but I'm saying that the style and the behavior, it's aggressive and it's hostile. And I feel like it comes from pain. I don't think that she's speaking to her daughter out of a place of love. I could be wrong, and that's what I'm saying. What do y'all think? Thanks, Lockhart. That's dope. Hi, Ideal. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate y'all. Since I paused, like, subscribe, share the shit out of the show, please. Jay, you want to put up the other? You think we should? Yeah, subscribe. Like, you want to do the other video? So this is a spoken thing, and I don't know if he's going to play the whole thing. The whole thing's powerful, but it just kind of went to the other thing. But go ahead.
Most men will only experience unconditional love from their mothers, and some of us don't even get that. Most of us have never even felt appreciation or respect without conditions or hidden intentions. We don't know what it sounds like to hear, "I see you, and I'm proud of you. I'm glad you're here. You really make a difference." Yet the expectation is to constantly be displaying the strength and love that the world is hesitant in conveying. We're expected to have a thick skin, but get judged if it turns to a hard shell. The first step in being a man is ignoring the hunger. Because yes, boy, you're going to be starving. Starved of attention, starved of affirmation, starved of love, starved of being told that you are enough. Step 2 in being a man is comfortability with replaceability. You are only as good as you are useful. You are only as valuable as you are needed by others. Should there ever come a day, boy, where you fail to provide everybody with a smiling face, then do not be surprised when they say all men do is take up space. And you are swiftly. Most men will only experience unconditional love from their.
I want to take a moment just to think about what he said, but I also want to add in, and I wanted to do this at the beginning of the show, and I forgot. I wanted to call Jaheim McMillan's name. He's 15 years old, and a few days ago, he was shot in the head by police officers in front of a Dollar General. And he was on life support for several days, but has since been taken off and passed away. And they obviously have not released the body cam, and they are saying it's going to be the end of the year, near the end of the year, before they will release the body cam. And I hadn't heard about it. And again, that's my fault. I don't read the news, and I don't click on a lot of articles, and I don't watch TV deliberately, for intake purposes. It's a lot. So I admit that I'm not out there, but I still, I haven't seen anything on my timeline about it. I just happened today is the first day I ran across it, and it was a week ago. So I am on social media every day, though. But I just wanted to call his name and, do our best to remember that not a whole lot has changed out here. And we as women being the nurturers, it's our fucking job to nurture them. If we don't nurture them, what chance do they have? Honestly, it's a child telling us what he feels like, and it is repeated across every social media there is. All kinds of little excerpts of young men and late teenagers, early 20s, maybe even 30s, talking about the lack in their life. And look, we all have. I get that. That's not what I'm saying. Why are we in a position as women not to stand up and at least do what we were energetically designed to do? We cannot keep blaming the men because the trauma came before the man. This isn't a chicken and an egg situation. The trauma came before your adulthood, for you to be in adulthood, to be choosing the type of men that you're choosing. Literally, men are being filmed on live, losing their minds, going crazy, killing their girlfriends and ex-wives, and like literally losing their shit. Like, at what point do we hold ourselves accountable for the situation of the generation that we created? If you don't want to say, well, that, my child's not in this generation or that generation, okay, fine. But when are you going to hold yourselves accountable? When are we going to hold ourselves accountable for what we're doing right now, in this moment? Because look at what is being taught to our children as women, and look at how this young man feels about it, what has been taught. That's not a new narrative that she was speaking in the first video. That's not new. That's not a new narrative. But that's not breaking generational curses, speaking like that and doing, that's not what that is. And if it was, then this young man wouldn't be standing here in front of us telling us how basically his heart's ripped out of his chest every day because of the lack of love in this man's life. Literally, that's what he said. I didn't hear the word love, but I heard the word love. He is literally tortured. He's a tortured soul. Is that what we want for our generation? Is that what we want for our seeds? Like, I don't, there's got to be something, you guys. There's got to be a way to do something. What's up, Scum TV? A narrative, a dialogue, something that has to happen. I mean, we can't just keep watching all these kids drowning and not holding ourselves accountable. Like, do you not remember us trying to make our parents hold themselves accountable, and we're saying this happened? Do you not remember that? Because I did that. That happened with me. I attempted to make my parents hold themselves accountable for the trauma that they inflicted upon me, that they absolutely denied. They denied it. We're denying it. We're denying that we've inflicted trauma upon our children. We're denying it. We're not holding ourselves accountable. And therefore, we're staying in the exact same energy that got us into the situation that we're in now. At some point, something has to be done drastically. These are mother's curses. I'm a mom. I'm a mom. These are mother's curses. These are mothers that have cursed their children. I wish I would have pulled it up. I wish I would have thought about it, because y'all know I got something in my phone about it. I don't even want to try to recall it because I don't know. But it's something about the daughters growing up with moms who were something, and I got a lot of pushback from people because, I got people think I should, have, I guess, more something for my mom. I'm not sure what. And we don't all have the same mom. That's all I'm going to say. We don't all have the same mom. That's just not something that I wanted to repeat. And I still repeated a lot of it before I held myself accountable and realized what was happening and began to, do something different. I know the last show was kind of calm, and I know that this show is kind of calm too, but this is just the reality of where we're at right now. Like, I feel like we need to be really fucking serious. Like, I feel like I really need, I mean, people are still getting murdered in the streets. Like, this is happening right now. Nobody's saying anything. Nobody's saying a word. Are they? Because all they showed, I looked at 3 or 4 or 5 different videos, maybe more, and they just showed like a few people outside there locally, and mostly the family, you know, with signs asking for justice. I mean, I see that it's on all the news channels. So for you guys that watch TV, did y'all know about this? Did y'all know about Jaheim? Had y'all heard about him? What's up, Gilly? I didn't even see you come in, girl. My bad. My fucking bad. I did not see you come in. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate you. I don't know if I sent you the videos or not that I sent, but we're talking. Well, you know what we're talking about because you came in way back before I even say anything. Y'all know I'm trying to share some shit. Y'all already know. We got to go through this. I got to go through this every time now, right? Anyway. Okay, so. Yeah, there's the call-in line. If you guys want to, if anybody wants to call in, you can. Jay just posted it in the chat. I guess you just click on it and it brings you up here or backstage or something. Anyway, click on the link. You can jump in. You can have a conversation with me. We can talk about it. But I really want to know if you guys had heard about Jaheim McMillan. Nobody answered that question. Had y'all heard about him? Did y'all know about this happening in Mississippi? Is it all over the news, like for real, all over the news? Maybe I can't. Maybe my comments are fucked up because I don't ever see the comments. I have all these extra buttons tonight, Jay. I have like 4 buttons tonight. I never have 4 buttons. No, you hadn't heard about him. There's multiple witnesses that are saying that his hands were up and he didn't have a weapon. So I guess we'll keep an eye on it. Can we follow it? Can we keep our eye on it and talk about it in a few weeks and see what conclusions have happened? Like, can we find out what happened to this young man and his life? Because, I mean, he got shot in the head. Police shot him in the head. He was 15. Apparently, I don't know what they were. I do know what they were saying. Once voices are continuously forced to be silent, it becomes the norm. Blame, cancel culture. This sucks for all of us. Yeah, I mean, you know, we do exactly what we're intended to do. It's unfortunate, but there's just not enough people who are aware of what's happening yet. I feel like there's enough that are, it's not enough. There needs to be more of us. There really needs to be more of us who are aware, because I mean, we literally are just living the same lives over and over again. We're not making any change. We're not doing anything. So, and are there any, I haven't seen anything about any, I'm just asking for the sake of factuality. Like, have y'all seen any, like any outright protesting or anything like that about any of it? I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with it. I'm just curious. And I could be Googling some of the stuff, on my own. I just haven't seen anything about it. I looked up, several articles and read them. So I know what, the police are saying happened. But apparently there's footage right after this happened, and the people are like screaming at the policeman, saying, "Why would you do that?" Like, he had his hands up, and I mean, apparently, I didn't see that. I didn't see the video. I didn't see that video because I didn't know what was going to be on it, so I didn't really want to look at it. But anywho, I didn't want to. I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer, but I just feel like, it's not. We don't talk about it anymore. We just don't talk about it. Like, if we don't talk about it, then we don't have to look at it. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. And, young men standing up in front of, literally, he's been seen by millions of people now, millions of people, exposing himself and his pain. And we just gonna act like it ain't shit to do with, like, we ain't got shit to do with it. Like, we don't have anything to do with it. This is the accountability that it's my intention to talk about. At some point, we as women have to hold ourselves accountable for what we the fuck as women do or don't do. Period. Fuck what the men are doing. Fuck what they're doing. It's none of our business what they're doing. It's none of our fucking business. Let them figure that shit out on their own. They can speak for themselves. They can figure this out on their own. They're smart. They're brilliant. They're mindful. They're logical. They're careful. And some of them are the exact opposite of all of those things. But it really doesn't matter. Because that's exactly how we are on this side as well, too. But if we don't start taking accountability for ourselves and our behavior, and at least accountability for what we were intended to be here for, like I said, energetically, at least, and balance ourselves back out, we are creating curses. We are creating them. We are creating generational curses, not just living them, we're creating them. I definitely have said that before, and I still feel the same way. At some point, we have got to take accountability, and we have absolutely 100% need to be who we were energetically designed to be. And that is going to vary substantially. But it needs to be authentic. It needs to be our own. It needs to be who we choose to become authentically. Because I feel like if we showed up authentically, all of us, we get the balance back. Instead of trying to be what we've been told that we're supposed to be, or what we look like as a group, as a unit, as a whole, as individuals. I feel like the next generation, the generation under me, I feel like they have a right to say that they're hurt. And I get it. I brought up this video before. There was a lady and she was like, we're just learning the shit too. Like, we weren't woke. We got woke the same time our kids did, kind of. My kids, and I'm just using this verbiage because, makes sense. But I mean it in, the most woke way. You know what I'm saying? And I remember when I said something to my kids, they were like, damn, Mom, we've been woke since, we was teenagers. We knew a little some shit was going on, but we've been waiting for you so that we could talk to you about it. I thought that was dope. And I was like, oh, okay, well, y'all could have said something too. You know what I mean? Y'all could have said something. Give me some kind of insight. What's going on strolling through? Thanks for showing up, everybody. Subscribe, like, and share the shit out of the show. There's also a link in the chat if you want to come on the show and talk to me. You can do that as well too. But we're talking about mother's curses. I had some stuff in my head that I was going to say, and then I kind of had a moment, because I don't really want to hurt anybody's feelings, and I don't know who will ever see these shows or whatever, and it's never my intention to hurt anybody. That's not what I'm. When I speak, it's not what I'm doing. I feel like the pain and the trauma generationally that I came from, unfortunately, has to be exposed. I don't know what else to do other than do that. And it's not with intention to harm any person. It's with intention to heal. But it's not going to feel good to everybody because everybody's not, really at this space. Feelings are actually good strolling through just because people don't all believe in them. Why wouldn't we listen to our feelings and our emotions? It doesn't make any sense. Of course, we should listen to all of it. It's all part of us. We keep trying to, separate ourselves out. I don't know. I don't know about the mother curse. I just feel like we as mothers need to take responsibility. I really do. I feel like, we did a piss poor job, some of us, and the ones who didn't, fantastic. And the ones who did, really need to take accountability and do their part. I feel like in the healing of their own children, my kids know that they can say whatever they need to say to me, even if they feel like it would hurt me, as long as it allows a space for them to heal. And, some things are hurtful to hear. They suck, really. But it's necessary. If it's necessary for them to grow, what I've been through, there's nothing I don't think that they could ever say to me that would hurt me in a way that I, have already previously been hurt. So I don't even consider that. I just consider it them, being able to release their throat chakra, and let it be free, their heart chakra. So anyway, I know everybody wasn't on here, but Jay played these videos. There was a video of a woman talking to her daughter, and she was just, and y'all didn't say nothing about that. Y'all think you think she was harsh? And I felt like she was speaking out of pain. Do y'all feel that? I agree. Ideal. I agree with that. At the utmost, completely 100% in agreement. Ideal said that blindness among women is strong, so it'll be hard to actually see our wrong and own it. I agree. I absolutely agree. Which is why we're all talking, because somebody's gotta, we gotta talk about it. We really have to talk about it as women. I feel like anyway, I don't want to go there on the show tonight, but I feel some kind of way. I've been struggling with some things lately. But not bad shit, you guys, but just still like, decision making and stuff about what I want to do, where I want to go, who I want to be, because I'm still becoming. So there's that. But what's up, Shauna? Agreed. Both my kids have hurt my feelings, but I'm glad they told me those things. Yeah. I mean, I definitely agree. I mean, we have to find a healing platform for our generations under us. I mean, it's evident that some of us haven't, even myself included. I mean, still healing, and that's okay. I mean, but I'm in a really beautiful place with my healing. So, this seems like a breeze right now. This seems like the easy part. That would be that'd be great. That'd be great if I'm at the easy part, if there was an easy part of healing. And this, I feel like this would be it. Like, I mean, some bumps, but it's a dope place to be because I've been writing and I've been doing TikToks and, I don't know, I'm on some other shit for real. So, but so with all that being said, I'm on a tangent. I feel like back to what Ideal said about women and that it was going to be hard for us to see our wrong. I think personally that we as women picked up a lot of narcissistic tendencies. And I'm not going to overuse the word narcissist. I'm not accusing women of being narcissists. I am. That's a lie. I am. I think there's a lot of women that are narcissists nowadays. But I also think there are women who just have narcissistic tendencies. I definitely had some. And I mean, I still have the tendency. I just don't choose the tendency. But, I could if I wanted to. I'm sure. I haven't forgotten. And I talk about manipulation and how I use it to my advantage. And, I was watching, this is going to sound so bad for the people who know me. But yeah. Everybody's here. The whole gang's here. Silky's not here though. Silky Savage. I haven't seen Silky. I think that's the only person I haven't seen. But anyway, that's the whole that's the whole idea of the show anyway, is women in accountability. I mean, that's how it all started, this whole thing, because, me and Jay would be talking about something. I guess isn't that kind of how it started? We'd be talking about something and I'd be like so disagreeable with the women. Like I didn't agree with the women at all, what they were saying, And I was like, women just, we don't hold ourselves accountable for a lot of shit. I didn't hold myself accountable for a lot of shit for a long time. And then I would do like I'd be accountable for some things, but not for everything. Right. But, I'm still responsible. It's still me choosing. It's still me creating. It's still me making choices. Right. So if what we're doing thus far hasn't been working, I don't know where Silky is, Scum. I don't know that Silky was here last week either, you guys. Maybe we should put out an APB on Silky. If any of you know Silky, tell them we're looking. We're looking for him. Oh, I'm reading K Boogie's comment. Let me read out loud. Kim, I feel a lot of women took fragments of how they viewed life, which means for generations there was a closed door uproar. Now we need to pull back and get it right as women. I fucking agree. I absolutely agree. I think we so concerned about the men and what they doing and how they doing it and all that we have forgotten that we need to fucking handle our own shit. You know what I mean? In the most healing, especially for women especially women my age. It is my intention to walk in as much wisdom as I fucking possibly can. The shit that comes out of my mouth and the way that I do things and the way that I operate is wisdom for my generations below me to come. Not below me, above me. For my generations above me to come. I should be making sure that I can gain as much possible knowledge as I can. My refrigerator might make a really weird noise because the ice maker ain't hooked up. And it could get loud. I don't know if it's going to do it right now or not, but I never know when it's going to happen. It's loud as fuck. I'm getting it fixed. I lost my train of thought, but generationally, I'm just going to go with the generational thing that I had. Generationally, like, we got to do something. We just can't keep creating this shit. It's nonsense. Suki talked a lot of trash. Are you really calling that? Yeah. Are we really? Yes. So he talked a lot of shit. He was dope at the end of the day. Talked a lot of shit too, didn't he? Yeah. No, he was. Yeah, he wasn't here last week either. He was here the week before though, because he was talking shit. Silky is cool. Why are y'all talking about? Why you was talking past tense? Don't do that. Silky is cool. Yeah, it's dope when people follow you and have people on Podbean that are different than people on YouTube. And then I have some that, go back and forth and, do both and all that kind of stuff. But I have a lot of people on Podbean that don't come on YouTube and stuff. So when I'm over there, they'll show up. And I've been on Podbean for you guys like 2 years. I've been on Podbean. So, but it's, it's just straight audio. It's not visual. So when Jay hit me up to do this, I had been thinking about doing it. But anyway, even if it's 20 people, I mean, that's 20 people that, can possibly leave one of the shows and go home and have a dialogue. That would, affect some change some way, some shape, somehow, and, I guess us women that are healing and becoming whole and understanding what our requirements are as women, energetically, again, and spiritually too. Because it's definitely not one-sided for us, but I just, for the sake of the conversation. So, how do we do that? How do we get women on board? How do we make women understand or get them to, how do we plant the seed? How do we do that? I'm just curious. I'm trying to move in this chair, you guys. I'm trying to get comfortable. How do we do that? I don't know. But we would definitely need to figure something out. Because at the end of the day, I mean, we just can't keep doing this to our kids. And then I'm curious, I'm really curious about what that daughter's afterthought was. She said she's in college. She didn't look that old, but that doesn't mean anything nowadays. I mean, she could have been 18 or 19, and been in college, still in college. So I don't know. I'm just curious what that daughter was in her head, if she feels the same way, like she's going to go out and bitterly avoid relationships and bitterly avoid men and just not choose men out of bitterness that comes from her mother. Like, I don't see anything but bitterness in that woman. Like, somebody hurt her. Definitely somebody hurt her. When you see bad behavior, call it out and shame. I don't know about shaming someone, but I do call out bad behavior. I do that. I will say that I do call out bad behavior. But we all should. And then there's so many scenarios for all of these things. And I feel like you have to be careful in every situation. I guess just be cautious. Shauna said, if I'm correcting you on behavior, it's going to be in private. I'm not going to shame anyone. Shame has to come back, or the he cycle will continue. Shame has to come back, or the he cycle will continue. I grew up Catholic, so shame that's a naughty word for me. Like I'm not okay with any type of shaming. I don't think it. I think it's the Catholic Church, as far as I'm concerned, they bully with shame. That's how they bully you, with shame. They make you feel ashamed of yourself. It's terrible, actually. It's a terrible feeling. Just cycle, not he. Okay, so shame has to come back, or the cycle will continue. I don't know about that. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I do know how I feel about it. I'm not a fan of shame. I don't think that's something that we should have to experience or have to be subjected to at any level. I mean, if we feel shame and something about in who we are or what we've done on our own, if we feel the shame, but I don't think we should shame another person. I don't think we should feel ashamed, but I get I get the emotion and the feeling. But I don't know if shame is responsible for breaking the cycle. I don't know how I feel about that statement. What y'all think? Y'all think shame's responsible for the cycle or lack of shame is responsible for the cycle continuing? I don't know. I think shame has anything to do with it. I'm just saying, I don't see how it's pertinent or relative. I feel like you need to be accountable, but shaming is walking away and not subjecting yourself with the people that aren't on the same page. That's not shaming. Strolling through. There is such thing as just shame, but definitely not in that sense you're saying. Yeah, and shaming is walking away and not subjecting yourself with the people that aren't on the same page. No. I'm just being honest. No. Okay. Shaming is the act or activity of subjecting someone to shame, disgrace, humiliation, or disruptive, especially by public exposure or criticism. Form of shaming. No. It's not. You're not exposing, taking more aggressive measures, tracking down and exposing the identities of supposed wrongdoers. Actively subjecting someone to shame. No. It's bullying. I mean, shaming is an act of bullying. That's what I would say. Shame's a heavy word. I agree. Definitely, immediately correction should be brought back. Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like shame is borderline bullying. I really do. I don't know that that's helpful. I mean, again, shaming and you're basically belittling someone. Humiliating them. So I don't know how that would be effective at all. You have to sense it on your own in order to change. We don't force it on someone. No, we don't force it on someone. It's only how you're seeing it. the way you are taught about it, and it's taught to be bad. What's taught to be bad? Shaming? Strolling, strolling through, you are so more than welcome to come up on the show and have a conversation with me, sir or ma'am. I might have missed something. Are we speaking about our children? I mean, yes and no. Just yes and no. We are speaking about, but he was saying the shame breaks the cycle. If shame's not involved, it doesn't necessarily break the cycle. The cycle won't be broken without shame. And I'm just definitely definitely disagreeing with that comment. Like, I don't think shame is, I think it's bullying. So, and I don't know, there might be a whole generation that grew up in that, and that's, part of some of the pain and anguish of having that type of shame. I mean, Catholics definitely do it. Catholics definitely fucking shame you. I mean, they shame, everything is, you don't even go to heaven when you die. So you gotta sit and hang out and wait. Someone decides where you're going and shit. So, everything as long as you, tell somebody. Everything as long as you tell somebody is that. So what's going on?
Hi.
Hi.
Great show. I like what you're talking about.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, so someone, which I think is relevant to, you're talking about how as women we have to take accountability. And someone says something about shame. And I think it's relevant because you know how you were saying earlier, we all have to mind our business, take accountability, and not worry about what the man's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's same thing, for the man. But there's this thing about shaming women or shaming each other pretty much. Like we use that word shame or that ugly thing to and think that that's what's going to change someone.
Mm-hmm.
So, I kind of have issue with that because I believe that everything that's bad, there can be good in it, but I don't think it's something that, we force it on someone. I don't really agree with that.
Yeah. Because if a deliberate act of shame is what I'm getting from what he's saying, but and we can't force anything on anybody. I mean, at the end of the day, I do, right? Like we can suggest, we can, ask, I guess, I'm not one to ask, but we can ask.
I don't know if it's me or the sound went out. I'm not able to hear.
You can't hear me?
Hold on. Okay.
That's better?
No, I think it's me. I'm not able to hear. My sound just went out. My alarm came on and then the sound went out. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably.
I may call back in then.
You can jump off and jump back in. So she's saying the same thing. All right, so let me see what Strolling Through said. Strolling Through said, part of the cycle is what it is because there's no shame. Never said deliberate. Right, no, deliberate was my word. Deliberate was definitely my word. I know you didn't say deliberate. But you said when you see bad behavior, call it out and shame. Like you're saying, when you see bad behavior, shame them for their bad behavior. That's what you're saying. Let me scroll back down real quick. Right? You're saying, but I'm saying you're saying shame them. You're saying to deliberately shame them for their bad behavior. Right? I mean, I'm clarifying. For real. Hopefully Ideal can call back in. Um, people need to be reminded of the ugly truth. I mean, if you hold someone accountable, you're basically, requiring them to look at the truth of the situation, at least to, the truth that as you see it. I had a gentleman today, we had a conversation, and he's a person who omits things, and I'm a person who does not. I don't omit. It's not how I move. If you omit, cool. We not the same people. It's simple. Doesn't bother me that you do that. I'm not judging you for it. I'm not upset with you about it. But once I know that you, and he was like, really trying to make me, he was trying to convince me to believe what he believed and tell me I was being unfair. And I was like, I'm not really being unfair. I'm not going to engage. And it feels back.
I hope it's working this time. Can you
So
hear me?
we can hear you just fine.
Okay, perfect. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, it might have been the alarm on the phone. When
Yeah.
something like that happens, if I get a call sometimes and I'm on the phone, it will do that with my sound when I'm on my other podcast sometimes. So
Yeah,
people,
so yeah, the whole thing with the shame, I was saying that, you know how you hear and you're saying each person has to take accountability. That's the truth. Like if I hear that, you don't have to make me feel bad for me to, for me to change. If you speak in the truth and I'm hearing it,
mm-hmm,
which you're saying, every person needs to take accountability for themselves. That's one of the life principles. So if I hear that, then within me, I'll know something, within me, I'll feel, if I'm on that journey to change, I'll feel something like, wait a minute, I didn't take accountability for something I did earlier today.
right.
And in that, I believe that's when I can change, not someone telling me, well, you've had so many kids by so many men and you're this or that. That's going to make me more rebellious and, wanting to fight back and defend myself.
Mm-hmm. No, agreed. Absolutely. Being attacked, I mean, at that point. So
Yeah.
Strolling Through said, like, if a woman is acting like a hoe, don't treat her like a lady. And I'm going to say back to you, what kind of man chooses a woman who acts like a hoe, and what type of trauma or pain have you went through that you're in that's the type of woman that you're attracting or that you're choosing. I mean, I'm gonna put that shit back on you. Like, what have you not rectified in yourself that you chose a woman like that? So why would you treat her any kind of way? Why wouldn't you just walk away from her? No, but he's choosing her. If a woman's acting like a hoe, don't treat her like a lady. No, he never said choose. I didn't say choose. I understand that. I'm obviously saying so if you run across a woman who's acting like a hoe, whatever that looks like to you, and you're going to shame her for acting like a hoe. So you're not saying she's your girlfriend and she's acting like a hoe and you're not gonna treat her like a lady. You're saying just if a woman's acting like a hoe, don't treat her like a lady. So are you saying at that point is when you shame a woman for her behavior? Okay, he never said choose. Okay, all right, okay.
Well, it doesn't matter if it's a choose or not. If you're with a woman and you find out she's a hoe, then I'm sorry, Kimberly. Kimberly saying, what attracted that hoe to you? Like, you need to check yourself too, because especially if if you stayed with her for over a month, over 2 months, you don't come back and call her a hoe, because obviously you must have some pimp kind of way about you to attract the hoe to you. I think that's, to me, that's how I hear this type of conversations.
I mean, yeah, it's true. I agree. It's like if you know a drug dealer that's killing the streets, don't act like or treat him like he's an upstanding citizen. Shaking my head. I don't know how you can compare the two. And I don't know how you can compare the two. Honestly, that is an extreme thing. Like to me, that's a really extreme thing. But nonetheless, whatever the men need to do for the men need to do. And I know, Ideal, when you said it back to me, it made me think about what I said when I said, we need to mind our business when it comes to men. And I want to clarify that I mean specifically to their like behaviors. Like, I feel like we should be minding our own behaviors, but specifically, like, they need to work on being the men. They need to speak among themselves and talk to each other about how to be a good man. We cannot keep trying to tell a man how to be a good man, and I think that comes, a lot from single mother mindset, that you got to raise a boy and a girl. And I was not a single mother. My two youngest father was in the picture, unfortunately, or fortunately, however you look at it, their entire lives. I'm not saying that he taught them any skills at all as far as being men. I guess he did teach them a few things, but there's all different levels to what I'm speaking on. So there's from every level that it can be from, but I just feel like that's where a lot of that comes from. I just really do. And, we have a whole generation of broken children. They're still babies. They're teenage years. They're in their 20s. And, we can't fight them kids. We can't fight them like we fought our kids. Like I fought, like most people fought their parents. My generation, fought their parents too. We can't do that. It's different. And, the kids are obviously in pain, and they're telling us that they're in pain. They're showing us that they're in pain. And nobody's taking accountabilities. Nobody's taking accountability for it. Nobody's saying a word, Anyway, I just want to, again, end the show by saying Jaheim McMillan, and for us to follow him and keep an eye on him, and whatever you believe in for that family, I will be sending love and light for them and to them, and wait for the truth about what happens to him. So I thank everybody for showing up. I appreciate Ideal coming on the show. That was sweet and cool. And I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the pushback. Y'all don't get crazy though, okay? Because I love y'all. I'm just, I want a dialogue. I want to be clear. I want to know things. I got questions. I felt like a Solid Blue sister today. She's not here tonight. Thanks, Ideal. I appreciate you. Solid Blue sister ain't here tonight, but I felt like her tonight. I felt like her spirit tonight, asking all the questions. Like, well, let's clarify. She does that all the time. She's cute. And somebody asked her last time, like, where does that come from? She goes, I don't know. I just like to ask questions. Like, it's not even a question that she necessarily is involved with the answer. Like, it doesn't really matter to her, right? Like what it is or whatever. So, anywho, thanks everybody who showed up. I appreciate y'all. You can still subscribe, like, share the shit out of the show. Now, when it's over, when you come back, you can share it, every day for, the rest of your life. I mean, that's cool. That'll be fine. I would appreciate it. So I'm every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Central Time, Podbean, and 8 o'clock every Tuesday Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Time on YouTube, savagecom.entertainment. And then you can come find me. And then you can subscribe, like, and share. All right, you guys have a great night. I'll see you next Tuesday.